Friend, today I'll be sharing with you my cat food recipe. I'm using 4.5 pound of beef, grounded beef. This is chicken thigh. I'm using 4.5 pound of chicken thigh, 2.5 pound of gizzard, chicken heart and chicken liver. I'll be showing you later in the recipe. I am going to grind chicken thigh and gizzard and add it on my beef mixture. I have to add the neck also, but I'll use it later. But I have to get the total amount of meat which I'll be using in this recipe so that I can get the correct portion of the ingredient which I have to use in this mixture. Here I'm showing you the total amount of meat I'll be using in this recipe. So it is 13.32 pound of meat. And the recipe which I follow is cat. I go to a website called catladyfitness.com and I use a recipe calculator. I scroll down and I'll share you the link of this website so that you can, if anyone wants to go and make their own food, they can get it easily. So I'm writing my amount of meat I'm using. So I have 13 pound. It doesn't show us the decimal. So once I write 13 pound and click calculate, it tells me exactly what I have to use in the recipe. So how much I have to use, like chicken liver, chicken heart, taurine, vitamin E, salmon oil, B complex, light salt, water, egg yolk, lysine, husk powder, eggshell powder. Since now I have all my ingredient, I'll make my recipe card so that I can follow my recipe and it's easy for me. This site tells me about gram and milligram, so I convert everything into teaspoon so that it's easy to follow. Now I'm going to grind my chicken heart. Now I have the correct portion, how much I have to use everything. So I'm grinding my chicken heart, adding in my meat mixture. In the neck, since it's a bone, I use the water which I have in the recipe. I use to blend the neck using the water, so it's easy to blend. So here I'm adding water in the blender so that it blends easily, because it's a bone, so it's hard to blend. So now I'm adding in the meat mixture, and this is my liver. I don't need any water because it's easy to blend. So I add my liver. Here I have 11 eggs yolk. I don't use it's just the egg. I don't use the whole egg. Now I'm going to add everything: lysine, taurine, vitamin E, B complex, flaxseed, kelp, and this is my calcium powder which I make by my eggshell. This is light salt. Now I am going to use all the ingredient which is in the recipe in the blender and blend everything and then add it in my meat mixture. The only thing which I doesn't have in the recipe card is kelp powder and flaxseed. And so in my blender, I'm gonna add 3 teaspoons in my mix. In my recipe, I'm gonna add 3 teaspoons of flaxseed. But the kelp I'm going to add in my meat mixture because I don't want to blend the kelp powder in my meat. So here I'm showing you everything I'm adding in the blender, and I'm gonna blend everything, then add in my meat mixture. So now I'm adding 4 tablespoons of kelp powder in my meat mixture. And I'm going to use 3 pumps of salmon oil. And then the remaining mixture which I have in the blender, I'm going to blend and add in my meat. So now I'm going to blend everything and add in the mixture. Here I'm using 1 can of pumpkin puree also. So I'm going to add everything in there, mix everything really nicely so that everything is blended, and then I'm going to pour everything in a small container and freeze it in the freezer. And if I need to use it, I'll take one out, put it in the fridge, thaw it, and add give it to my cats by warming it up with 2 tablespoons of hot water. This is my cat food recipe. Thank you for watching.